Alright, so we got the 351 leaks, and it's continuing the Shoto versus Dobby portion of this arc, or at least where we are currently. Because the title of the chapter is The Two Flash Fires. The chapter begins with a narration talking about the might of the Flash Fire Fist, a special move that super concentrates all the heat onto one's body to release it in a full blow. Endeavor's ultimate technique. At the same time he developed such a move was also when he was hit up with his own insurmountable limitations. So that's a pretty fitting opening to this chapter. So yeah, the Flash Fire Fist, as it's described, is his ultimate technique. But this is like Endeavor's proprietary ability, which, as we've seen, Dobby and Shoto are trying to acquire for themselves. And whenever we see like Endeavor do like a big named move, it's a byproduct of the Flash Fire Fist. I also only think we've just begun seeing Shoto do this, and it was actually just in the third movie. I think he does like two techniques in there. Also, as it says, hit up with his own insurmountable limitations. This is like the birth of this entire conflict in general. Like, once Endeavor figured out this technique, he also came to his limitations and realized that, oh, I can only get so hot because I'm going to overheat. Therefore, I'll never be able to surpass All Might. So I guess I'll just find a lady who has an ice quirk and make kids with her until I could breed the perfect Pokemon that has the perfect set of quirks so that the ice can even out the fire aspect, and this theoretical child could become the ultimate Flash Fire Fist user. And of course that led to the birth of Dobby, who on paper had more firepower potential than Endeavor, but still kind of ran into the same issues of him as overheating, but with Dobby's case it was actually even worse than Endeavor. And then of course he eventually got Shoto, who had both ice and fire. So yeah, this entire conflict, both of these tragic lives, are the byproduct of one man's limitations and insecurities. It's pretty sad once you boil it down to its bare essentials. Dobby's fight with Shoto continues, and Dobby says that all the mulling over the past got him heated up, and he prepares his blow while Shoto says that his flames are so strong that its shimmers distort the surroundings. So yeah, Dobby was getting pretty hot at the end of the previous chapter. Like, he straight up melted the All Might statue, rest in peace. Shoto prepares as well, as he says he's going to stop Dobby. Dobby replies that Shoto isn't just a replacement for Endeavor now. There's also some things he wants to tell him. Man, there's even more things you gotta say, Dobby. Also guys, could you please subscribe to this channel? I know a couple weeks back I said don't subscribe, but I know a couple months back, but I'm assuming those of you who didn't like me and wanted to leave have left now. So the only people left are the people that actually want to watch my videos. And there's like tens of thousands of you that consistently watch my Hero videos but don't subscribe. Hey, and I understand why you wouldn't. Maybe I'm not good enough, but also maybe you just don't think about subscribing, because sometimes the viewers need to be reminded to do that. So could you please do it for me? Thanks, guys. Dobby says how he started out just a low flame, always craving towards a greater force, with Endeavor's words echoing into him to one day surpass his own. His strength now is a byproduct of a body that has long lost its limits, what he learned from watching Endeavor from afar. He then uses the Hell Spider against the heroes around. So yeah, byproduct of a body that has long lost its limits. Dobby looks like a flame corpse at this point. I mean, he was losing himself the last two chapters, but coming into this one, he almost has like no skin left, and he just looks like a no-mooey zombie. It's a pretty cool aesthetic, but it's also sad at the same time, because you kind of figure there's really no coming back from this, unless Eri comes in at the end and just rewinds all of the villains or something, which is possible, or Izuku does it by taking her quirk, but that's a story for another time. But also the Hell Spider is like when we see Endeavor shoot like individual strands of flames from his fingers. We saw him do it against the Hayanomu, and also Shoto did it in the third movie as well. But now we're getting to see Dobby's variation of it. The heroes try to buy Shoto some time by keeping Dobby in check, but as soon as Shoto's technique is on standby, Dobby shows up behind him, starting to strike him repeatedly. Keeps talking about how he and Shoto are influenced by the blood of the calamity known as Endeavor that runs in both veins. But Shoto was born with a better body, with a better environment, because he was born with everything. Unlike Dobby, he never had to go through the hurdles Dobby went through to attain his force. Compared to him, Shoto is nothing. While that is partly true, this is just further showing Dobby's mentality, which is, super flawed. It's not like Shoto asked for this. He didn't ask to be Endeavor's little pet Pokemon project. Shoto says he's right. He was someone aimless, someone with a half-heartedness that would never come close to his foot, that he's glad that he's not seen as Endeavor, because now it's for Dobby to take a good look at him. He thinks about how he wanted to catch up with his friends, commit, improve, and develop over time. So that heat he's going to use now is the outgrowth of his training, a unique technique he created to stop Dobby. So this is also a big crucial element of Shoto's character arc that we saw begin in season 2. Like when Shoto first shows up in the series, he's very cold. But obviously we know why, because of his, awful upbringing at the hands of Endeavor. And it was ultimately Izuku, along with the rest of Class 1A, that allowed Shoto to break out of that wall that was always in front of him. And I'm sure we know a lot of people like that in real life. But this is something that Dobby didn't have. Although it's debatable if that really would have even helped him. Scene cuts to Endeavor calling Shoto to inform him that he'll need to deal with All for One. Shoto says it's okay, since the few remaining heroes will need to deal with him, while Midoriya deals with Shigaraki. Shoto says that's fine, because stopping Dobby is his role. Everyone has a role to play, something they need to put to an end. For Shoto, that's his own brother. So yeah, Endeavor's team, and I think Hawks is there as well, and of course other significant heroes, they're all taking on All for One. When will we get to that? Not really sure. Maybe we'll get to it after we come to the end portion of Shoto versus Dobby. Not really sure if we're going to come to the conclusion of this when we do ultimately cut away from it, but since this is being mentioned now, it might show up next. But also, I guess this is just being reestablished for the audience more than anything, like letting us know what's going on, because they already know. Like, this was already established beforehand. That's why the groups were set up the way that they were, and why the whole Troy entrapment system and exiling the individual villains was set up the way that it was. It comes back to him finally using his Flashfire Fist, saying that indeed their father was a madman who wrecked everyone in that house, but it was Dobby's choice to kill the people he killed. It was his choice to involve people who never had any relation to their incident. He hits Dobby right in the face, ending the chapter. So yeah, this actually looks really cool. Shoto is finally using the full-blown Flashfire Fist, and he resembles Endeavor. Like, he has like the flame X over his chest, his right fist is entirely engulfed in flames, and he's kind of getting like Super Saiyan-esque hair when he goes into this mode. And also when he's landing on Dobby, there's like this huge fire explosion. Like I said, it looks great. There's actually just fantastic art in this chapter, and it seems to be action-packed outside of all of the dialogue. So I'm really looking forward to reading like this full chapter once it's released. I do the early reviews every Friday, so that's another reason to subscribe if you are interested. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. And if you liked the video, please give it a like. And have a great day. See you in the next one.